Carlsen clearly likes the theme of domination, and I found a few other examples. Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on Magnus Carlsen's favorite chess position. What is this about? Well, Carlsen mentioned that the position that you see here on the board is one of his favorite chess positions. He said this when he was doing the 100 Endgames Test. It's a book of Grandmaster de la Villa with 100 endgames you must know, and Carlsen, as part of the Chessable project, was asked to solve some of those positions. The video on Carlsen solving those positions is on the YouTube channel of John Bartholomew. I put a link in the description box of this video. You can have a look if you haven't seen it already. It has been there for a week and already has 371,000 views. And that's not surprising. It is of course very exciting for any chess fan to see the world champion solve endgame positions. And it is quite astonishing how quickly and easily Carlsen solves those positions. So if you have not seen it yet, it's well worth a look. One of the positions he's asked to solve is a queen endgame. And at one stage, Carlsen puts up this position and says this is the critical position. And he says then it is one of my favorite chess positions. And Bartholomew asks him why. Is it because of the total domination? And Carlsen says yes. It is indeed a very nice position. It doesn't really matter whose move it is. Material is equal. There's very few pieces on the board, but this is a totally winning position for white. If it's white's move, then queen f2 is checkmate, but also if it's black's move. Black's pieces are totally dominated. All black can do is give away his queen to prolong the game for a few more moves. And Carlsen clearly likes the theme of domination. And I found a few other examples which show this fascinating chess motif. This is a position from a game between Alexander Balyeski, Ukrainian-Slovenian grandmaster, against the great Viktor Korchnoi, one of the strongest players never to become world champion. It was played on the 7th of June 2004 in the George Marks Memorial in the third round. White was Balyeski, black was Korchnoi, and on the 37th move, black Korchnoi gave a check to white's king. Material is equal. White has queen and knight, black has queen and bishop and 5 pawns each, and also the position is about equal. If Balyeski had played queen f1, black's pieces are more active, but there is not much he can do. But in this position, Balyeski did not play queen f1, he played king h2, and that is a blunder. And Korchnoi found a refutation. If you want to look for yourself, how can black win a piece here? Then put the video on pause and try to look for black's move. It is queen d1 to d3, and Korchnoi found it. Attacking the knight, and if we look a bit further, we can see that the knight has no squares. The knight has 6 possible moves, but all squares it can go to are in black's hands, as you can easily see. And also the white queen does not have a move to protect the knight, and it will just be lost on the next move. The knight is dominated by black's pieces. Black wins a piece, and Balyeski resigned here. That's a nice example. And of course, there are many chess compositions with this theme. This position was composed by Henry Rink and was published in 1920. Rink is one of the greatest chess composers of all time. It is white to play and win. White has 2 knights and a bishop, and black has a rook. If black can give his rook for the bishop, then the position is a draw. White will not be able to checkmate the black king with only 2 knights, and it is up to white to prevent that happening. And it's all about domination of the black rook. It doesn't look easy to dominate that piece. It's in the center of the board, and it has so many squares, but still white will be able to do that. The first move is to play the knight from b1 to d2. That's attacking the rook, so we have to do something. We cannot let the knight take the rook, because then white will have bishop and knight left, and with bishop and knight, it is possible to checkmate the black king. So black will have to move his rook. And as we'll see, there are not many squares available. Let's have a look. If we go to e7, that is not safe, because then there is knight d5 check, and that wins the rook, and white will have an easy task checkmating the black king with 2 knights and a bishop. We can't go to e7. What about e3? Well, knight d5 check is also the refutation then, picking up the rook. What about rook d4? Well, then there is another fork. Knight e6 check picks up the rook, and white will keep bishop and knight. And what about rook b4? Well, then we see the knight d5 check again. Knight forks, winning the rook. You can look for other rook moves yourself, and you'll see that they won't work apart from rook e5. And here the rook has the maximum number of squares available. 14 squares to go to. And the rook looks quite safe there. But it is not. White plays knight c4, again attacking the rook. And we want to avoid the rook being swapped for a knight. So either rook e4 is possible here, or rook f5, it leads to the same thing. Then white plays knight d6, again attacking the rook. Rook e5 is the only safe option. You can look for yourself why the other rook moves don't work. And then white plays bishop f3. This is not an easy composition to solve. And now the rook only can go to a5 to be safe. Again, you can look for the other rook moves, why they do not work yourself. And white's pieces keep dominating the black rook. Knight e6 check is the move. The king only has one legal square to go to, that is e5. And then finally we catch the rook with a knight fork, knight c4 check. Check on the king, attacking the rook. White will win the rook and black can take this knight, but white will keep bishop and knight and the king, and will then be able to checkmate the black king. That's not an easy checkmating sequence, but that's not the point here. In the initial position, white was winning because the white pieces dominate the black rook, and as we saw in the end, the black rook is lost, and white will have a winning material position with bishop and knight against a lone king. A great composition from the French composer Henri Rink. And here's a screenshot of Carlsen and Bartholomew looking at this domination position. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you enjoy the domination motif as much as our world champion does. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you like the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.